Hello, welcome to Black Crow Gaming. I'm your host, Arron, and today we are going to be talking about Adeptus Custodes. Everybody knows I love the Adeptus Custodes, and in the comments below, or not the comments, the description below, you will find a link to the Black Crow Gaming Adeptus Custodes competitive Discord. Now, we've just launched a new merch range for that, so if you want to get yourself some cool Adeptus Custodes merch, we have made a cool symbol representing the 10,000. Now, for those who don't know, the Adeptus Custodes, it's all about being a part of the 10k, the 10,000. You are one of the 10,000 within the Adeptus Custodes, and if you want to wear a cool t-shirt to represent that, it's there for you. Sweet little black T number. Anyway, as you saw from our funky new intro, we've got lots of sponsors, and please go see those sponsors, get yourself some cheaper goods. Now, today we're going to look at what the Data Slate could bring for Adeptus Custodes. Now, is it likely? Probably not. All of the points that I make here are all from the Adeptus Custodes competitive Discord or my own personal views. And I show that in this slide. Views and opinions taken from the Adeptus Custodes competitive Discord. So if you want to get a part of the discussion and you've got some great ideas, why don't you come speak to us all? This is not confirmed. None of this we know is happening. Okay, I haven't got any insider knowledge. I don't know this. We're just thinking how cool this would be. And theory crafting is one of the coolest part of Warhammer 40k, in my opinion. So I think, why don't you, in the comments below, put what you would like to see coming in the next Data Slate, which could be today, could be next week. Who knows? Sisters of Silence. Oh, Sisters of Silence. Give a unit infiltrate. How cool would that be? Like every other army in the game, give us an infiltrating unit, please. And I think Vigilators would be a really good choice for that, personally. Drop the cost of prosecutors to 10 models for 100 points. So I say 100 points for 10 models, 10 points a model. That would make prosecutors an excellent screening unit. It would make them fantastic at doing sort of actions and just generally just being a nuisance, and I'd rate that. Vigilators drop to 45 points for 4. I think that's a fair. They're not really used like Witch Seekers are easily the best. You know, they've got Scout, they've got Flamers, and their abilities are best. So Vigilators, I think, could easily drop. And I don't think that would break the meta at all. I think actually it'd be quite healthy. And I think then it would give us a divide on certain units. Witch Seekers, yes, stay as they are. However, I don't think this request is unreasonable. I don't think any of these requests are unreasonable, really. I think these are all pretty reasonable. Bring the Knight Centurion down to 50 and a layer down to 60. That, I think, would be great. I think that would be... Look, they are only T3 bodies, very few wounds. Ultimately, they're no different to some of the other like armies out there, for example, that have really cheap characters, like Eldari, like, for example, Gene Stealer Cults. So why can't... I don't think that's an unreasonable one. Characters. Now, I think all the characters need a points decrease? Possibly some of them. I think the generic Shield Captain could come down 10 points. Personally, I think Blade Champ's right where he is. I think Valerian's probably going to go up 10 points, unfortunately. I think Trajan could come down 5. You know, I think there's some tweaks to the characters, personally. What do you think? Do you think we could tweak this somehow? Do you think there are characters that need some changes? Alaris and the Quillen Terminators bug me so much. We still have the most expensive Terminators in the game, but they're not the best Terminators in the game. This is the problem. 55 points to Terminator would be a sweet spot. So, do you think that would be reasonable? 110 points for 10? You know, 165 points for 3? I think that'd be all right. Aquilins need to have the same unit composition as Alaris. Stop leaving the Forge World units out, Games Workshop. Do something about them. We have a small model range. We have a huge model range, including Forge World. Sort them out. I like to think that you're not just going to Legends them all, but if you are, get on with it. And if you're not, bring them all into Forge World in plastic so you can take my fucking money. Anyway, rant over. Oh, look, 5 minutes in, it's my first swear word. What a record. Telemon Dreadnoughts. Telemon. They should go back to 215 points. 215 points for a Telemon Dreadnought again. Solar isn't as run as much as it was. I don't think they were too ridiculous at 215 points. I think the Venerable Dreads are okay at what they're at. You still take 3. Bring us back to Telemons down. Because then they don't actually do that much damage in the grand scheme of things. They just don't die very easily. Forge World units in general. Well, look. I think the Forge World units all need a massive rework. They've basically been forgotten. Some of the Forge World units are excellent. Some of them are just flat crap. Almost all the Forge World units need to either go to Legends or be reworked. Bring them to us in plastic. Sagittarium Guard are such cool models. Could they benefit from the same unit composition as Custodian Guard and also a drop on points? Would we use them then? Maybe. I'd probably take a unit of 4, just because actually if they shoot something at -1 to hit, it could be quite tasty, could be quite nice. Suppressing units isn't bad, really. So why not? That's a big question. I like Sagittarium Guard. They were the staple of 9th. They were so good. So good. And now they've just kind of dropped off a bit of a cliff, which is sad because they are cool. Pyrophyte Adrosite Spears could realistically drop to 235 points for 5 fixed unit size. If they're going to keep them fixed, drop them to 235 points. They are not Warden territory costing. They need to come down. When do you see them on the board? We've got a Pyrophyte Captain, which makes me think in the new codex in the future, we will get Pyrophyte Spear Custodian Guard. If that's the case, excuse me, bring them down in points and let us play with them now. Or maybe you don't want to do that because you want to wait until they bring everything out in plastic and then you can just be like, loads of money. But I would probably, if I had it in Forge World now, I'd probably just buy it in plastic anyway. Think about it. Adeptus Custodian should go to Legends or be reworked like Virtus Praetors. They are Custodian Guard on bikes and they got forgotten. Games Workshop just flat forget they exist. Did a beautiful workup on the Virtus Praetors. Fucked over the Adeptus Custodians. Either put them to Legends, remodel them, and give us the same rules of Virtus Praetors. Please and thank you. It's one of like the biggest frustrations for me as an Adeptus Custodian lover is that they just suck. They suck. But if they went to the same as Virtus Praetors, they might be alright, you know. The Palace Tank could go to 70 points or just Legends it. Like, it's like the Coronis tank, really. Coronis tank could come down in points as well. The guns on the Palace Tank are just pointless. I think you could probably take it down 70 points, even lower. They're cool models. This is what I mean. Like, the Adeptus Custodian range is really cool, and there's a lot that could be done with it. However, I think that we just need to ultimately do something about these units. And I do wonder, chat, like, or people watching this, what are your thoughts? What would you change about the Adeptus Custodes if you had a choice? If you could change one thing, put it in the comments, let me know. And like I said, we've got a new funky, very new and funky merch line. So if you go to the Black Crow Gaming Linktree, you go on there, you'll see the Adeptus Custodes merch tee. If you like my content, then please go pick it up. It's got a little Black Crow emblem on the back of the shirt, just to say that this is a Black Crow authorized tee. However, there is about the 10,000, and that is what's really cool about it. I mean, I'm quite passionate about this. The Adeptus Custodes Discord has grown huge. We've got over 500 people. I started that myself, just on my ones, and then we've just continued to grow and grow and grow, and I keep sharing it, I keep preaching it. We've got the blood games going on TTS where you pick 2 armies to play, 1 custodian, 1 non-custodian, and you play in the blood games. Really cool. You do multiple rounds, but you just switch your armies, so you play 2 games per 1 round, but you have to run your custodian army and you have to run an army that's different. Pretty sweet. Not only are you getting experience running other armies, you're also getting experience against other amazing Adeptus Custodian players. We've got golden tickets winners, we've got multiple podium finishers, we've got people who have represented at the highest level of this game that sit in there, and they're much appreciated. And I would love as many of you to come join us as possible and come get to know us all. We have people from all over the world in there, so it makes it a pretty special place. In terms of like the hobby side of things as well, like some of the work people can do with Adeptus Custodes is incredible, and I love it. I love going on that Discord and just seeing what they have to offer. Now, I don't think the slate's going to come today because at the time of recording this, we'd have probably already had it drop. It's probably going to come next week. I think there's going to be big changes to other armies. Not necessarily as much to Adeptus Custodes, but all of this that I've mentioned here is just me wish listing. It's more like what I expect will probably come in the 11th, if I'm being honest. I would love to see that, but we'll see. It takes time to bring stuff out. And look, we got our one character model. So we'll see. Look, I love talking about the Adeptus Custodes. Hopefully next week I'll be joined by a special guest so we can talk about the Adeptus Custodes in the new data slate. Anyway, take care everyone. Bye bye.